Good morning, Mr. Jeremy Hackett. I'm very proud to be in your shop in London, in your home, in your world. Could you say just a few words about your collaboration with Aston Martin? How does it start, and why does it start?
Well, funny enough, David Richards is a Hackett customer, and I was in
David Richards, who is the owner of one of the owners of Aston Martin.
Yeah. He was in here shopping one day, and I came in, and we just started chatting, and he said maybe we should do something together.
Yeah.
And of course, I didn't need to be asked twice, because the idea of actually working with what is mostly known as the most iconic British brand, well, for me it's an absolute privilege.
Because we had to precise that you are a great fan of sport cars, so it was...
Well, I do love cars.
Yeah.
But my real love, though, is bespoke tailoring. And I think that there's a link between Aston Martin, which is a hand-built car, and bespoke tailoring, which is all hand-built. It's the same sort of authenticity and credibility that go into both products. And I think that's why the two of us work together so well.
So after this first meeting with David Richards, what was your first idea? Because he said, let's do something. So what was your first idea for Aston?
The first idea was to make some kit for all the pit crews at Le Mans and for the drivers. So we made jackets and shirts and trousers.
Ah oui, tous les équipements pour les pilotes, for the drivers, all
just to wear not when they're driving, but when they're wandering around the event. And that's how it started. And then the next stage really was to develop a whole clothing line.
And for babies also.
And for children. And
for children,
the children absolutely love it. Because it's like a father and son relationship.
Yeah, right.
And the father goes to the motor racing and loves it, and the children love it. And so it's a really great day out, and they can buy the polo or the rugby. And it's a great sort of bonding, really. I think it's perfect.
And so did you work after, so first you worked for Le Mans, and after did you work for inside a car, for something inside the car? It was just for the suit?
We haven't yet, but there's something we may well do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the future. Maybe it might be my first Aston.
What was your first car, your first sport car maybe, or your first memory with car?
Well, the first car I learned to drive in was a car called an Austin A35.
Yeah.
It looked like a little snail.
Yeah.
I'm going back a long time. That was when I was 17. But the only sports car I've ever had actually was an MG RV8.
MG,
RV8.
RV8.
They made it
with the 8 cylinders.
RV8.
It means 8 cylinders, no?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
It was a Range Rover engine.
Wow.
And it was a beautiful little car, but it was completely unreliable. The roof leaked. It was incredibly hard steering, and I kept it for a year, and then I went back to my Range Rover.
Are you still driving in London today with the traffic, or?
Yeah, I just drove here this morning. The traffic's a nightmare. Always is.
And what car do you drive if not?
Range Rover.
A Range Rover. So a big one.
Yes.
The last one?
I've been driving for 20 years now.
Okay.
And I had a Defender, and I had the classic Range Rover, and then the next model. No. But one day I'm going to get an Aston.
It's funny because it's comment on dit, cohérent. I mean, it's, because Hackett is so iconic from England, and you've got a Range Rover, so all of this is very, you are really an icon of England. I mean, it's like a...
Well, I think, I have to support, I'm a British brand, I have to support
You're right.
the British car industry.
You're right.
I couldn't be seen driving
You're right.
Maserati.
To be a little... Well, thank you for this.
Pleasure, thank you.
Yes.